Hey everybody, welcome to JFT Trucking with JFT TV. My name is Anthony. I'm the owner operator of the company, and I haven't been on here for quite some time, so I wanted to reach out and make sure I did a video here. It's been quite some time. I think the last one I did was probably coming outside of Vancouver, Washington, and today's video is going to be about the DOT inspection, or I got pulled over by a Kentucky State Trooper and did a level 2 inspection, it says, and I'm going to talk about that, but also explain a little bit about what's been going on and not getting too many details. But yeah, the last time I was on here, I think it was from Vancouver, and I'll do a separate video, but it's just been about, a good month or so since I've done anything with it, and I apologize for that. So I will catch up on some stuff that's happened between now and since then, coming up shortly here this week. But in the meantime, I want to get into this video and let you know that, first of all, I did pass my inspection with 100%. Super excited about that. And what happened is yesterday I was driving I-71, and I was coming outside of Atlanta, and I'm heading up here to where I am now, to New York. I'm in Corning, New York, actually. And I believe this is the place where Corning Glass is. There's a Corning Glass Museum, so I'm pretty sure that's got to be part of the history here. But I was traveling up here, and it was a nice hot summer day. Actually, the first day in a few weeks where there was actually no humidity. It was 83, 84, and it felt beautiful. So the windows were down and driving along. And, I take a lot of pride in trying to do the right thing, even though I know I don't know what I'm really doing still, by watching videos, listening to you all out there. I do a lot of research, and I've wanted to be pulled over, whether it's through a weigh station, doing an inspection there or whatever. I want to be pulled over, but I'm nervous about being pulled over too, because you never know. If I don't know something, they can shut me down, and that's my biggest fear. But I'm pretty confident and wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing. So when I got pulled over yesterday, I was driving along, and I happened to look in my side view mirror here, and when I looked, I could see this officer, this highway patrol, like right up on me, but he was halfway over in the other lane. And right away, I knew he was for me. It wasn't like he was behind me or the other lane. It was in both lanes, right on me. And I'm like, oh man, am I going fast? So I looked down at the speedometer. Nope, I've always got it set on cruise control. I'm 1 mile below the posted speed. I think it was 65 or so probably doing 64. Excuse me. And so I look over, start getting a little nervous, and I pull right over. It's not really a good spot to pull over, but I don't want to keep driving. So I pulled over on the shoulder, small, narrow shoulder, as fast as I could. And he walked up to my side and gets up in the cab on the passenger side and asked how I was doing. I said, great. Nice officer, actually, but he wanted to know what was going on, who I was. Or I said, hey, I own the truck. Because you got paperwork? I said, yes. And I will show you that I do have a binder here, my DOT compliance binder. Hope that actually shows up right on the video with how it's spelled out. But it's my DOT compliance. And in there I have my current bill of lading, or actually it's my rate con right now, but and then I have a picture of my driver's license, certificate of insurance is in there, up to date. I have my my cab card, vehicle registration, and I have my MC certificate. I've got my medical examiner certificate in here, and then I got some other things here, some things from the state of Minnesota. My IFTA license, which I'm excluded from having to have, so I filled out a form for that. And then I have my directions on how to run my e-log, and to give him the information when requested. You have to have that in there as well. So I had that in there, and I have my inspection from Ryder, where the truck is from, the vehicle inspection, the annual one, and anyway, so I have all that stuff there, and I had it in the folder, and it was really jovial and polite. And the first thing I said is, you want my license and the registration? He goes, yeah, I'll need that. And I said, just want you to know right now, I have a pistol. And he says, where's that? And honestly, what I want you to know is he didn't flinch. There was no tightening up, stress, nothing. He's like, oh, what is it? Where is it? And I said, it's under my bench. I'm traveling to New York, so it's not holstered. It's locked up in a gun case. and there's no magazine in it. And he goes, "Oh man," I said, "Did you see my card?" He said, "No, no, no." And then he said something that I was just like, I totally smiled. He said, "I don't know why why other people don't carry. Y'all need to be safe out here, and I wish more of you did carry." And I shook his hand and thanked him, and I just thanked him for the service he does as well. I know a lot of people don't recognize, or they're not really well looked upon the last few years with our political climate, but I made sure to let them know that I love all that they do. But I was taken aback at how nonchalant he was, and that's been my experience to 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 times now I've had any interaction with law enforcement, and I offer my permit to carry card, and they actually calm down. I've been told many times that there's a feeling amongst the law enforcement community that most people that carry, who are a Second Amendment, who carry, are actually law-abiding citizens, and they have less problems with them. So it's been my experience to be true. So anyway, he says, "Hey, I'll be with you a little bit." He asked a couple questions about where I was coming from. I couldn't even think straight. I was like, yeah, I didn't have any loads. I lost some loads in Georgia, finally got one in Atlanta, and I'm heading up to New York. I couldn't even think straight. He asked what it was, and I said, "It's some containers. I think it's got some malt in it, 4,000 pounds of some additive for beverages." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "I'll be back a little while, just sit tight." So he goes back, and I'm sitting on the freeway there, and I noticed everyone's trying to get over like we always do when there's a car pulled over, a truck pulled over, people are going by. But sometimes, man, people are going right by, they couldn't get over in time, and you got a semi going by at 70, and the whole thing's shaking. And I'm like, damn, please don't hit me. But I was sitting there going, it's kind of sketch right here, so close, couldn't get really far off the freeway that much. But I waited there, and I was worried. It's like, I've got 26 years in recovery. I've spent a few days in jail here and there many decades ago, and I kept thinking, am I getting out? It's my release date. Am I getting out? Is there a warrant for my arrest or something? And are they going to hold me? And I kept thinking, man, I sure hope nothing comes up bad. I started thinking all these negative things. It's like first thought, wrong stuff going on. And but like, honestly, I was also thinking, I'm okay. I'm honest, trying to be compliant the best I can, and this will be a learning experience. So he finally comes back in about 20 minutes, and he says, "You're good to go. Really nice job. Clean truck." The truck was super clean. Everything was in order. And he says, "You don't have much running around here." I said, "Well, no, actually I do. I've been driving on my on duty." I said, "I've got a question." I said, "I took some load. I took a couple loads, and I got to the shipper. They canceled." I said, "Can I go on PC right after that, or do I got to stay on duty while I'm looking for a load?" He goes, "Well, you haven't have any hours, but you can go PC for that." He goes, "But you have no hours." I said, "No, I've been driving since Florida." He goes, "No, I only," and it kind of got like we were not arguing, but like I'm telling him, "Officer, I really do have hours." So I showed him my log on my iPad, and he looked at the daily log and says, "Jude, you do have hours. None of this is showing up." And he's like, "What the heck?" So he reran it and resent him all the information from my last 8 days, and he went back again and said, "Wait a few minutes," and came back and said, "Yeah, it matches up now. You're right." I kind of thought, why is this guy saying you are when I'm saying you're not? And he goes, "You're right. It just must have been some mix-up with the internet connection." He goes, "But yeah, you're compliant. Everything looks great. All your pre-trip inspections are done. All my post-trip inspections, I have no violations." And he looked through everything. He said, "So I want you to know, it's super important to make sure every day you spend a good 8 to 10 minutes in a box truck looking through everything, checking your oil levels, checking your coolant, checking, make sure you have windshield wiper fluid filled up, make sure your tires are inflated to the right thing, making sure your truck is cleaned out, the lights are all working." And I think all those things being done and not skipping corners, as well as continuing to educate myself and ask questions, led to that successful level 2, it says it was. So I think from the videos that I see, it's much harder when you go into a weigh station and they pull you in, they do a real thorough one. But he did a whole walk around the truck out there, didn't have me do them with it, which was fine on the freeway. But I am looking forward to that one, which I think it might be a little bit harder, it just seems like. But he said no, he was there, he had nothing to do. He has to get a couple of these things done every day, and he happened to just pull up on me. So the last thing I want to say is he was asking about the name of the company, JFT Trucking, what's it from, what's going on. And I explained to him how I got into the business after being furloughed so long with COVID from the hospitality industry, and and then I'm out here on my own. And we began talking a lot about stuff, and he asked me about me. I told him I'm 26 years in recovery, told him what JFT stood for, just for today, our daily reading. And he started smiling. He goes, yeah, I pull over a lot of people like you. He goes, I'm so happy to see you doing so well. I feel so bad. I said, no. I said, don't. I said, actually, my aunt is a sheriff, and she actually arrested me, or actually put me in a drug program when I showed up at the jail that she ran in Alameda County, California. And then my uncle was the judge that sentenced me to 9 months. I did 6 months. I told him, you need to arrest us. I mean, you don't got to go heavy-handed, but letting us go, if we're addicts, does not help us. We need to be held accountable. And it isn't until somebody else holds us accountable that we get the opportunity to clean up. And I said, what I talk to judges about is when you go into court and you're being referred to jail or treatment, the judge is asking, why should I do 5, 6, 7 times? And I'm like, hey, you go away for a month in a treatment program, and for all the wrong reasons, to save your job, not go to prison, save your old lady, whatever it might be. But honestly, after about 3 to 4 weeks, it becomes the right reason. It's for you. And then everything gets to be back to becoming hopeful. I told him, you've got to put us, give us, arrest us. And I said, it took that happening to me. And he looks at me kind of like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I want to thank you, though, for your service and all that you do. And with that, I was good to go. So that was my first interaction with having an inspection with any sort of law enforcement, and it went real well, I'm happy to say, obviously. And I want to thank you for watching, listening. Please like and subscribe. I will put out some more videos. Like I said before, I apologize, but like and subscribe, and hit that notification button, and then look forward to some more out there for you coming soon. And hope you all have a great weekend coming up here. Thank you. Bye-bye.